today's math will begin with Worktext page 49 and 50, which you already have ready. You will have page 47, 48 for homework tonight, which will be similar to what we're doing. Now, we are doing something new, but it's very, very simple. If you just pay attention, there will be no problem at all. So we're going to start with the first problem on your paper, which is in the blue box. Let's just look at what they're doing there. All right, so they took a subtraction problem. Read the subtraction problem with me. 834 minus 572. Now when they subtracted it, 4 minus 2 was 2. When they got to the middle, the 834, the 3 minus 7, they could not do it, so they renamed. Now they took from the 800s and made it be 700s. They added to the 3 tens and made it be 13 tens, and then subtracted 13 minus 7 is 6. And then the 7 minus 5 is 2. So they came up with an answer of 262, excuse me. Now, what they did when they checked it was they took the difference, which was 262, and added back the subtrahend. Remember when you subtract the problem? The first number is the minuend, the second number is the subtrahend, and you are finding the difference. Everybody, please look up here. So this is the minuend, this is the subtrahend, and you are finding the difference. Everybody, please look up here. Again, this is the minuend, that's the big number on the top. You are subtracting the subtrahend, and you're finding the difference. So they took the difference, their answer, and they added back the subtrahend. And when they added it back, let's look what happened. 262 plus the 572 that was subtracted, added back. 2 plus 2 is 4. 6 plus 7 is 13. They put the 3 and renamed the 1. And 1 plus 2 plus 5 is 8. Do you see that they got the minuend? Now, some of you are going to be tempted to cheat and say, I know I'm supposed to come up with a minuend, so I'm just going to put the minuend as my answer when I check it. But guys, I'm going to know that you did that because I'm going to know what the difference is supposed to be, so do not cheat. If you're not getting the minuend when you add your difference and your subtrahend back together, then you did something wrong when you subtracted. Or you could be doing something wrong when you're adding, and you just need to correct that. Alright, so we're going to do the first problem together. The first problem that you have on your paper is 87 minus 39. 7 minus 9.
You can't do that.
You can't do it. So we're going to cross out the 8 in the tens and make it be a 7. So everybody do that. And that 110 that we took from the 8 tens, we're going to give it to the 7 ones. 10 plus 7 is 17. So now this is 17, and we can subtract. So when we say 17 minus 9, what do we get?
8.
And when we say 7 minus 3?
4.
All right, now we're going to check it. So right beside it, you see where it says check in that little blue box? So we're going to start with our difference, which is 48. And we are going to add back what we subtracted, which is 39. And this is how we're going to check it. Remember to line up your ones, line up your tens. Be neat about it. You have to be neat. So what is 8 plus 9?
17.
So you're going to put the 7 and rename the 1 to the top of the tens. 1 plus 4 plus 3. 8.
I can't.
You just need to stand up, okay? Now, do you see we got 87, which is what our minuend was?
Yeah.
So that means it checked. Yes.
It's both the answers. It's like the 8 is doing both jobs. He's being the tens and the ones.
Say it again. I didn't understand that.
It's like the 8's doing both jobs. For 48, he's being the job for ones, and for 87, he's being the tens for the job.
Yeah, he does have a job in 2 different numbers, doesn't he? 48 and 87. Are you good now, Ben? Okay, let's move on to the next one. This is 703 minus 426. Let's start with the 3 minus 6.
You can't do that.
So we go to the tens column and we see
0.
So they can't can't help us, so we have to go all the way to the hundreds column. So we go to the hundreds column and cross out the 700 and make it just be 600. That 100 changes to 10 tens. 0 tens and 10 tens is 10 tens. So just make that 0 be a 10. That's a little 1 right there. You need to wake up. Do you understand me? And think about what I'm saying. Stop kicking. Pay attention to what I'm saying. All right? Now, can we borrow from 10 tens?
Yes.
Yes. So cross out the 10 tens and make it just be 9 tens and take that 1 10 and change it to ones. 3 ones plus 10 ones is
13.
13 ones. So that 3 now is 13. Now can we subtract?
Yes.
Yes. So 13 minus 6?
7.
7. 9 minus the 2?
7.
7 again. And 6 minus the 4?
2.
2. Alright, that is our difference. So we're going to start with the difference when we check it. So we're going to put 277. Please make sure you write it low enough underneath the word check so that you have room for renaming. If you smush it right up against the word check, that means you're going to be putting the renaming numbers on the word check, and I don't want to see that. Because sometimes when people have done that in the past, I couldn't tell if they put it there or not. So make sure you leave room underneath the word check. And we are going to add back what we subtracted, which is the 426. Eric, I'm pretty sure you don't have a clue what I'm doing. I need you to pay attention, okay? Are you with me? Okay. All right, make sure you draw the line underneath, or do they already have it for you? They already have it for you. Never mind. All right, add it together. 7 plus 6?
13.
So we're going to put a 3 at the bottom and rename the 1 to the top of the tens. Then we're going to say 1 plus 7 is?
9.
No, it's not. 1 plus 7 is?
8.
Plus 2 is?
10.
No. I'm sorry, yes it is. I'm sorry. Put a
0.
Rename the 1. 1 plus 2?
3.
Please don't say 1 plus 2 is 7. I just said 1 plus 2.
3.
Answer that. 3 plus 4?
7.
All right, and we got 703. What was our menu in?
703.
Check. All right, I'm going to have to move the camera a little bit so she can see the next problem. All right. Now, your next problem is 681 minus 94. Okay, so we're going to say 1 minus 4.
You can't
You
do
can't do
that.
that. So we have to go to the tens column, cross out the 8 in the tens column, and it becomes a
7.
7. Now we can give those 10 ones. 1 10 becomes 10 ones. 10 ones plus 1 1?
11.
11. So change that 1 to an 11. All right, 11 minus 4.
7.
7. Sit up. 7 minus 9?
You can't do that.
So we're going to go to the hundreds column, cross out the 6 in the hundreds column, and it becomes a
5.
That 100 we took from the hundreds column becomes 10 tens. 100 equals 10 tens. 7 tens plus 10 tens is?
17.
17 tens. So make that be a 17. 17 minus 9?
8.
8. Very good. And 5 minus nothing?
5.
All right, to check it, you're going to put the difference, which we just found out was 587. And we are going to add back what we subtracted, which is?
94.
Now, this is where some of you need to make sure you're lining it up. The 9 should not be underneath your 5. Because that 5 is hundreds. This 9 is 10, so it should be underneath the 8, and the 4 should be underneath the 7. If you did not line it up, the 7 and the 4, because they're both in the 1s, and your 8 and your 9, because they're both in your 10s, you need to fix it now. Some of you, I'm telling you this, and you don't bother to fix it. You just keep that 9 right over there underneath that hundreds column. Everybody see how this is lined up? All right, let's add it up. 7 plus 4?
11.
So put a 1 and rename the 1 to the top. 1 plus 8?
9.
Plus another 9. 9 plus 9?
18.
18. So put a 8 and rename a 1 to the top of the hundreds. 1 plus 5?
6.
And we ended up with
681.
And that was our menu in. So check. We're good. All right. Now, in the next row they have written them going across. And we've already discussed that you cannot do them going across, especially if there's renaming. So we need to, first of all, rewrite it going down. So underneath this problem, where it says 245 minus 176, you are just going to rewrite it going down, like this. 245 minus 176. And just make sure you have a tiny bit of room above it so you have room for the renaming. And it's the same problem on the paper, but you can see going down. You good? All right, is everybody ready? Yes?
We have to use the line that's already here.
Did they already have a line for you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yes, definitely use the line they already have for you. See, I wrote it on the board, so I don't know what they have for you. I've forgotten already. And my book's already done with the answers and everything, so I don't know what they have for you. All right, so let's start with the 5 minus 6.
Can't do
Can't do that. So we're gonna go to 4 in the tens column, cross it out, and it now is just 3 tens. All right, so that 1 10 turns into 1, so 5 ones plus 10 ones is?
15.
So just put a 1 in front of that 5, so we know that's 15. All right, and we're gonna say 15 minus 6? 9. Now we'll go to the middle, the tens column, and say 3 minus 7.
Can't do
So we're
that.
gonna go to the hundreds column, cross up a 2, and it's now left with 100, only 100. That 100 changes to tens. 10 tens plus 3 tens is?
13.
So make that be 13. 13 minus 7, 6. And 1 minus 1, 0.
Don't put a 0.
Yes, and we don't need that 0 because our final answer is 69. All right, so now we're gonna add the 69 and add back 176, which is what we subtracted. Now, what do you need to remember to do? Yeah, line it up. The 9 and the 6 line up, the 6 and the 7 line up, the 1 is all by itself because that's the hundreds column. And then I want to show you another new thing. Because we put the 69 on top, I want to show you something about renaming here. All right, so what is 9 plus 6?
15.
15, guys, 15. 10 plus 6 would be 16, so 9 plus 6 is just 15. So put the 5 at the bottom, rename the 1 to the top of the 6 in the tens column. 1 plus 6, 7 plus 7,
14.
so we had a double there in the end, didn't we? So put a 4 at the bottom. Now pay attention. Please do not put the rename number right here. Because what did I just make that look like?
169.
Yes, I just made that look like 169. What you need to do is put it up at the same height as the other rename number, up here. And just leave that empty there. Because that was just 69. And I have had students that got confused by doing that. And they were thinking that their answer was 169 after they renamed a 1 there. So make sure you float it up here as high as the other rename number. That 1 was nothing that was here, plus 1, 2. And 245 was our minuend. So check again. All right. Our last problem that I'm going to do with you on the board is 307 minus 197. What do we have to do first? We're rewriting one down. So 307 minus 197.
You didn't write it in
Did I write it wrong?
You didn't write it in the blank for the 1.
Oh, you're right. I did not write the answer. Up here, we should have written the answer of 69. So everybody do that right now. If you did not write the answer of 69 up here, that is the answer, 69, not the 245. That was what we got when we checked.
we were checking.
Yeah, so what you need to write is the 69 in that blank. Thank you for reminding me of that. Did everybody do that now? Because I know last time when I told you guys to do it, some of you did not do it even though I told you to. This time I forgot. All right, you guys ready? 7 minus 7.
0.
That was easy. No renaming.
You need a 0.
0 minus 9. You can't do that. Go to the hundreds, cross out that 300 and make it be 200s. The 100 rebar turns into tens. 10 tens plus 0 tens. 10 tens. So make that 0 be a 10. Alright, and then 10 minus 9?
1.
1. And 2 minus 1?
1.
1. Alright, now we're going to check it. So start with that 110, which was our difference. And add back the subtrahend. 197. So 110 plus 197, 0 plus 7?
7.
7. 1 plus 9?
10.
Go to 0, rename a 1 to the top of the hundreds column. 1 plus 1 plus 1.
3.
And our sum is the same thing as our minuend, so we are good. Check, and then don't forget to write your answer in the blank, which is?
300.
No.
110.
307 minus 197 is not 307. This is your answer. 110.
We're just checking. Make sure you're right.
Yeah, this was just checking to make sure we subtracted correctly. Okay, but the answer is this one, because you're finding the difference here. This is subtraction. All right, I'm just going to talk you through the story problem. So you ready? All right, so let's read it together. It says Haley sorted 125 photos. She had 65 photos of Plymouth and 17 photos of ships. The other photos were of the Cape Cod area. So how many photos does Haley have of the Cape Cod area? All right, so what they're telling you, I'm not going to actually show the problem, but I'm going to show a diagram of what they're telling you. All right, so what they're telling you is that she took a total of how many photos?
125.
125. So this number is representing, and then they told you the photos were of 3 different things. What was the first thing we were of? Plymouth. I didn't give myself enough room. Second thing was ships. And the third thing was
Cape
Cod. All right, so how many photos were of Plymouth?
65.
65. How many were of ships?
17.
How many were of Cape Cod?
We don't know.
We don't know. That is the missing number. Now, to find a missing number, what do we usually do?
Subtract.
But when we have 3 numbers, what do we need to do first? Now, you need to add these 2 numbers together first so you know what to subtract to find the missing number. Okay? So we got to put these 2 together first. So add 65 plus 17. So put that in the first box they give you. Well, they don't really have a box. They have a big box, but the first thing you need to do is add 65 plus 17. 65 plus the 17. Some of you look like you're in a daze. Are we there? Are we adding 65 plus 17? You already wrote it? Maybe I need to do this because some of you look like you were in a daze. Wake up, guys. 65 plus 17. That's what you should have written first. There's a big box for you to write this in, and you're going to do 2 different things. Because they have 2 different places for you to do a problem like that, right? This is a 2-step story problem. That's what we call this. All right, go ahead and add it up. All right, most of you are done. For those of you that are not done, 5 plus 7 is what? 12. So you should have put a 2 and renamed the 1. 1 plus 6 plus 1 is?
8.
All right, so now you know these 2 together is 82. So you know that she took 82 pictures of Plymouth and ships, and what can we do now? Subtract that from 125 photos that she took in all, or pictures she took in all, and that will give us the Cape Cod number, right? All right, so let's start with what number? No. Yeah, 125, because we have to subtract it from 125. What number has to be on top when you subtract? Yes, the bigger number, the 125, and we are going to subtract that 82 that we just got. Okay, so if you subtract something from 82, you're just going to come back up with a Plymouth number or the ship number, depending on what you're choosing to subtract. You are not paying attention. Wake up. Alright, so we found out that the quantity of ships together was 82, and we're gonna subtract that 82 from 125, and that will give us that missing number. Alright, 5 minus 2? 3. Alright, now, let me show you something. Is there a number in the hundreds column?
Yes.
Is there right here?
No.
Look where I'm pointing, right here. So there's nothing to subtract from that 100, right? And if we were to rename, because 2 minus 8, you can't do it. Are you paying attention to me? Stop trying to figure it out and listen. If we were to rename right here, what number would we turn that 2 into?
12.
Isn't it already a 12?
Yes.
And since there's nothing here to subtract, can't we just say 12 minus 8?
Yes.
So why don't we do that? Instead of wasting time crossing out the 1, making it be a 0, and turning this one into a 12, it already is a 12, and there's nothing in our hundreds column anyway. So let's just go and say 12 minus 8 is 4. Alright, so how many were on Cape Cod?
43.
43. And did they call them photos this time or pictures?
Yes.
Okay, so you're going to say on the line, write 43 photos. 43 photos. Alright, now for the next part, I'm just going to talk you through it. Alright, so let's start with the back. If you've written 43 photos, turn it over to the back. Alright, first one is 76 minus 39. 6 minus 9?
You can't
You
do
can't
that.
do that. So cross out your 7 and the 10s, turn it to
6.
6 tens. Change that 10 to 1s and add it to the 6 tens that are already there, and it becomes 16 tens. 16 minus 9. 7. So put a 7, and then go to the tens column and say 6 minus 3. 3. So our answer is 37. So to check it, you're going to put 37 plus 39. So go ahead and write that very neatly. And we're going to say 7 plus 9.
16.
So put a 6 at the bottom, rename the 1 to the top. And that 1 plus 3 is 7. 76, which was what our minuend was. Check. Moving across. 53 minus 21. 3 minus 1. 2. 5 minus 2. 3. No renaming. Now you just check it. So add 32, which was our difference. 21. 2 plus 1?
3.
And 3 plus 2?
5.
53, check. Alright, whoever keeps muttering under their breath needs to stop. I do not know why you're doing that, because that is very rude. I'm trying to teach here. You're supposed to be paying attention. 211 minus 198, starting with the 1 minus 8. Alright, so go to the tens, cross out the 1 and the tens. It becomes a
0.
and give it to the 1 and the 1s. 10 1s plus 1 1s is 11 1s. Now we can subtract. What's 11 minus 8? 3. Now we go to the tens column and we now have a 0 there. And we're supposed to be saying 0 minus 9.
Can't do that.
So go to the hundreds. Cross out the 2. It becomes a
1.
and give the 10 tens that we took from the 100 to the tens. And now we have 10 because it was 0. 0 and 10 is 10. So change that 0 to 10. What's 10 minus 9?
1.
1. And what is 1 minus 1?
0. But you don't want to put that 0.
Yes. When we see that we don't need it, you erase it if you already put it. And make sure you just have an answer of 13. So what are we going to add up? 13 plus 198. What do you need to remember to do when you're writing that?
Line them up.
Yes, line up the ones. So what should be lined up? Your 3 and your 8 should be lined up. The 1 and the 9 should be lined up. And that 100 from 198 should be all by itself, right? All right, let's add it up. 3 plus 8?
11.
Put a 1. Rename a 1 to the top of the tens. 1 plus 1 plus 9. 11. Put a 1 and rename the 1, but make sure you put it high with that other renamed 1. Don't make that look like 113, right? And then that 1 plus that 1 is 2. 211, 211, check. All right, 437 minus 229. Is everybody with me? All right, so let's start with 7 minus 9.
Can't do that.
Can't do it. So go to the tens, cross it out. 3 becomes a
2.
and give it to the 7. So now it's a 17. 17 minus 9. 8. Very good. All right, 2 minus 2.
0.
Oh, we can do it. It may be small. Some people get in the habit of, oh, it's such a small number, I must have to rename. Well, no, not if it's 2 minus 2. You always have to check every time. Don't just automatically rename. All right, and 4 minus 2. 2. So our difference is 208. So write 208. Add back the subtrahend, which is 229. 208 plus 229. Everybody ready? All right, let's add. 8 plus 9.
17.
So put a 7. Rename the 1 to the top of the tens. 1 plus 0 plus 2. 3. And 2 plus 2.
4.
437. 437. Check. All right, 645 minus 386. Starting with 5 minus 6.
Can't do that.
Can't do it. Go to the tens. Cross it out. That 4 becomes a
3.
and give it to the 1. So now it's a
15.
15. 15 minus 6.
9.
9. And 3 minus 8.
Can't
Can't
do
do
that.
it. So go to the hundreds. Cross out the 6 and it becomes a
5.
Now give it to the 3. Now the 3 is a
13.
13. 13 minus 8.
5.
5. And 5 minus 3.
2.
2. All right, time to check. So start with your difference.
259.
Okay. So 259, and add back what you subtracted, which was 386. So go ahead and write that in. All right, so we're going to start with the 9 plus 6.
15.
15. So put the 5, rename the 1 to the tens. 1 plus 5, 6 plus 8,
14.
14. So put a 4, rename the 1 to the top of the 100. 1 plus 2 plus 3.
6.
6. And we got 645, which is what the minuend was. Check. One more before we have another story problem. 929 minus 371. 9 minus 1. 8. No renaming. 2 minus 7.
Can't do that.
Now there is renaming. So cross out the 9 in the hundreds and it becomes
8.
800s. That 100 turns into 10 tens. 10 tens plus 2 tens is 12 tens. So make that 2 be a 12. Excuse me? Then you need to get on the one we're on. You can go back to the one that you didn't get done. I'm not sure why you didn't get it done. But I do not feel like I'm going too fast. Maybe it's too late because you've already ready to check it. Almost. 12 minus 7 is?
6.
12 minus 7 is? 5. And 8 minus 3 is? 5. Alright? And now you're going to check it by putting 558 and add back. Say it.
371.
371. Guys, I'm trying to see if you're getting it. That's why I'm making you respond more now. Come on, wake up. Alright, so add it up. The 8 and the 1.
9.
The 5 and the 7. So put a 2 at the bottom. And rename the 1. The 1 plus 5 plus 3.
9.
Very good. Alright, Zeke, I need you to just go straight to the story problem now, okay? Alright, we'll work on those later. I'm not sure what happened there. Alright, you guys ready for the story problem?
Yeah.
Alright, let's read it together. Andy has 325 oranges. He will take 250 oranges to the boys' home. He will take the rest to the orphanage? How many oranges will Andy take to the orphanage? All right, so you're going to start with the total number of oranges that he has, which is what?
325.
And what do you need to do with the ones that he took to the boys' home? Subtract. And that will leave you with what he's going to take to the orphanage. So go ahead and put the numbers in the box and do it yourself, please. And then after you're done with that, you will go down to the bottom where you have a lot of addition problems with 3 add-ins and renaming some of the time. Not all the time, but some of the time you will be renaming.